Well, hello, and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel with Charlie B. Well, what are we up to today? Well, we are going to be answering that age-old question of what's for dinner. So today we are making a coconut chicken curry. Yes, and it's, believe it or not, it goes from the stove and into the slow cooker. So we're going to do a slow cooker meal. Yeah, it is the first day of summer, but this is something that'll be good for any time of the year, really, and even on a nice cold winter night. So think about that when you're looking for recipes. So, well, let me get you to it and let me show you the recipe and the ingredients. Now, for the chicken coconut curry, let's start with the ingredients. First off, while I am frying up in here or sauteing, I have 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. Now, you can use olive oil or any other oil that you'd like to use. And I have 2 nice size sweet potatoes. So I'm going to let these cook till they're about half done. I'm going to give them a stir. I'm going to put the lid on so they'll cook a little bit easier. And then we'll get to the rest of the ingredients. This should be good. Since this is going to end up in the crock pot, I am going to, or the slow cooker, whatever, however you want to call it, I'm going to go ahead and mix the sauce up in the crock pot. So what I have here is 12 ounces of chicken broth. And I'm going to use a tablespoon and a half of curry powder. Now you can use red curry powder or just a regular curry powder, whichever way you want to do this. There's one. And here is the half. Yeah, I'm kind of eyeballing it, but that's all right. There's the curry powder. Now, here's another spice. Now, this is garam masala. Now, I don't know if I said that right, but it's also going to show it to you. So there. I looked this up because I've never heard of this and I've never used it. And it said that if you wanted to, you could use 3 tablespoons of allspice and no, let me rephrase that. You could use 3 tablespoons of curry powder and 1 tablespoon of allspice. So it's 3-to-1 ratio for your garam masala. So there you go. So this is also going to be a tablespoon and a half. Next item up will be, I have 2 cans of coconut milk. It is unsweetened. And they are 13.66 ounces. And now this is definitely full fat coconut milk. Some people are like, ew, but that's the coconut milk. It's really good too. And that would be the second can. And next up, we will have 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste. Now, I open these on both ends just so I can push out the tomato paste and pull it out like that. See, it's pretty clean. So you can hear the sweet potatoes are still cooking. They're sizzling. So you want to make them also till they're about halfway cooked. And that's pretty much everything that you have in your sauce. And I'll get this stirred up. And we'll get it over in the crock pot. So let's get back to the sweet potatoes and see how they are doing. So let's check these sweet potatoes out. So they look like they're about half done. Also going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of the curry powder for this one too. The red curry powder is what I'm using, and that's what I had on hand. So, of course, I'm eyeballing it again. Since these are pretty much halfway cooked, I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 cups of carrots and 1.5 cups of onions. Now I'm just going to cook these until the onions are translucent. Now, if you find that this is getting a little dry, you can also add just a splash of water in there to make sure it does not burn. Just get this lid back on, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so our onions are pretty much translucent. And the next item, I'll be adding 4 cups. Nope, sorry about that. 2 cups of green peppers. Now you can use whatever color you wanted to. I used the green because I thought it'd be a nice color combination. And then, what's one of my favorite ingredients? Garlic. So I'm going to use 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. Now I'm using one very heaping tablespoons of garlic. So I'm using it as like 1.5. And I'm just going to mix this all together. I'm going to let this heat up for about 2 more minutes. And then we'll be adding this to our sauce mixture along with the chicken breast. So give me a minute. Okay, so we're going to start adding our vegetables and our chicken. Here we go. We have about 2.5 pounds of chicken breasts here. I chopped them up. Just going to add that right into the sauce mixture. Going to also turn on my crock pot here in a minute. As soon as I find the plug. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on to low. And this will cook for 2 to 3 hours. Just depends on how high your crock pot is and how big of a recipe you make. You can also cut this in half. And I also have about somewhere around 1.5 cups of celery. Now this would be probably 6, maybe 7 of the nice size stalks. And we are going to go with about 2 nice size heads of cabbage. I have this stuffed in a 4-cup measuring, so you can see I've got it completely full. I'm going to dump that right in there. Just going to let it go, kind of smush it down in here. Yeah, I'm moving you around a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this and just let it start cooking and clean up my mess while this is cooking down. So be back in a few hours. Now that we have all of our raw vegetables and chicken in there, we're going to go ahead and add in our sweet potatoes, garlic, onions, peppers. So I'm going to get this dropped in there, and I'm going to have to move things around because if not, I'm going to spill it everywhere, and that is no fun. Do some scooping to get this out. This is really going to be good. It's going to be nice and warm on your belly. Today is the first day of summer, believe it or not, and it's like 60-something degrees out. It's chilly for the first day of summer. So this will actually warm us up on a cold, rainy night. Actually, it's not that cold, but this would also be a very good winter meal. And if you had people coming over, because you have to do a little bit in earlier and then cook it, slow cook it for a couple hours, you could maybe get this going in the afternoon. Go get yourself ready, clean the house, whatever you would need to do, make a dessert. Why this is cooking in the slow cooker. And we will also be putting this over rice. So come back for the taste test. And I'll be seeing you soon. Oops. Since this is such a big batch of chicken coconut curry, chicken coconut curry, that's how you say it. I'm going to actually set it on medium for an hour to let it start cooking and then go from there. Okay? And we'll see how well it's cooking and how fast before I turn it up or turn it down. So the chicken coconut curry has been cooking for 3 hours and 34 minutes. I made a very large pot. So I also, after it cooked for an hour on medium heat, I turned it up to high because I didn't want to wait until midnight to eat dinner. So everything is starting to look really good. And I'm going to dish some of this out as soon as I test it to make sure that it's actually going to be cooked enough to eat it. I already checked the chicken. It was fine. Now this, you don't want your carrots and stuff to be too hard or too soft. So this is really good. It's not turning to mush, and that's an awesome thing. And broccoli is doing really well too. So the fork goes through it, but it's not disintegrating. And the chicken is really good. So I cut a piece open, which I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to put it on a little bit of rice, and I'm going to do a taste test for you. So hang on. Okay, so here's the chicken on the plate, or the curry on the plate, and I'm going to do a little cut here. Perfect. Here's the chicken. Oh, it's so good and tender. I am so looking forward to trying this. So, yes, the carrots are awesome. Perfect. So, and that was a very, very large thing. So it's been 3 hours and 37 minutes on an hour on medium and 2.5 hours on high. A little over 2.5 hours on high. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And we're going to do a taste test. Okay, so you saw me cut up some bites, and I'm going to do a taste test. Let's go for the carrot first. Perfectly done. And some broccoli and rice and celery. Oh, really good. And let's try some chicken. That is amazing. So if you wanted to add more spice to it, you could actually add some ginger to it or some lemongrass to make it a spicier meal. But hey, there's the chicken coconut curry. So remember, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. Charlie B signing out, and I'll be seeing you soon.